In the United States, a violent crime occurs every 26.2 seconds. That's a jarring reality, isn't it? Imagine the time it takes to tie your shoe or to take a sip of coffee. In that brief span, someone, somewhere in this country, becomes a victim of a violent crime. Let's take a step back and look at the broader picture of crime in America. Over the years, the land of the free, the home of the brave, has been grappling with a disturbing rise in crime rates. This isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. It's a stark reality that impacts millions of lives, changing the face of communities and shaping the narratives of cities. Now, the term violent crime encompasses a range of offenses including murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. The Federal Bureau of Investigation's Uniform Crime Reporting Program, a reliable source for crime statistics, has shown an uptick in these violent crimes across the country. This paints a rather grim picture of safety in our cities, doesn't it? But it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding the problem is the first step towards solving it. And that's precisely what we're here to do. We're here to shed light on the reality, to understand the why behind the what. In the course of this video, we'll be taking a closer look at some of the most dangerous cities in America. We'll journey through the streets of Detroit, the neighborhoods of St. Louis, and the districts of Baltimore. These cities, each with their unique histories and challenges, have unfortunately earned a spot on this list due to their high crime rates. We'll delve into the factors that contribute to their high crime rates, from socio-economic challenges to systemic issues. We'll explore how these cities are working to combat their crime problems and what can be learned from their experiences. Now that we have a glimpse of the national picture, let's dive into specific cities. Let's face the reality of crime in America, armed with knowledge and understanding, as we strive to create a safer future for all. First on our list is Detroit, a city with a violent crime rate of 2007 per 100,000 residents. Detroit, once the heart of America's automotive industry, is a city that has been struggling with crime for decades. But what are the factors that contribute to this high crime rate? Economic factors play a significant role. Detroit's decline began in the mid-20th century when the auto industry started to shrink and move jobs out of the city. This resulted in a significant population decline, leaving behind vacant homes and businesses, and a city infrastructure too large for its remaining population. Today, Detroit's poverty rate is more than twice the national average, and this economic hardship is reflected in the city's crime rate. Unemployment is another significant issue in Detroit. With fewer jobs available, especially well-paying ones, many residents find themselves in dire financial straits. This lack of employment opportunities can lead to desperation, and sometimes crime becomes a means of survival for some. Education, or the lack thereof, is another contributing factor. In Detroit, the high school graduation rate is much lower than the national average, and fewer residents have a college degree. Without a solid education, many young people in Detroit find it hard to break the cycle of poverty and crime. Lastly, the city's struggling law enforcement agencies are also part of the problem. With a dwindling budget and a high crime rate, the police force is stretched thin, making it difficult to effectively combat crime and maintain public safety. But it's important to remember, Detroit is more than just these statistics. It's a city with a rich history and a vibrant culture, a city that's fighting to overcome its challenges and rebuild. Detroit's struggle is a complex issue tied to various socio-economic factors. It's a city that, despite its high crime rate, is filled with residents who are passionate about their community and are working hard to create a safer, more prosperous future. Next, we move to St. Louis, a city that surpasses the national average with a staggering crime rate. St. Louis, known for its iconic Gateway Arch, is unfortunately also notorious for its high crime rate, which is a grim reality that the city grapples with. So, what's behind this high crime rate in St. Louis? The reasons are multifaceted and complex. One of the main factors is poverty. In St. Louis, the poverty rate is significantly higher than the national average. This level of poverty can often lead to a cycle of crime, as individuals may resort to illegal activities as a means of survival. Another contributing factor is drug trafficking. St. Louis is a significant hub for drug trade, with narcotics flowing in from all directions. This illicit trade fuels a vicious cycle of violence, as rival gangs fight for control of the lucrative drug market. The city's strategic location, near the intersection of major interstate highways, makes it an appealing distribution center for drug traffickers. Racial tension also plays a part in the city's high crime rate. St. Louis has a long history of racial inequality, stretching back to the days of segregation. These racial tensions have often bubbled over into violence, with the city witnessing a number of riots in its history. These deep-seated issues of racial inequality still persist today, contributing to the city's crime problem. However, it's important to note that while these factors contribute to the city's high crime rate, they are not the sole reasons. Crime is a complex issue that is influenced by a multitude of factors, including education, family structure, and community involvement. Addressing the high crime rate in St. Louis requires a comprehensive approach that tackles these root causes. This includes investing in education, providing economic opportunities, and fostering community engagement. The high crime rate in St. Louis is a reflection of deep-rooted issues that need to be addressed. And while the task is daunting, with a concerted effort from all stakeholders, it is not an insurmountable one. We now turn our attention to Baltimore, where the crime rate is a shocking 1,859 per 100,000 residents. Baltimore, known for its historic neighborhoods and beautiful harbor, is unfortunately also known for a darker side, a high crime rate that stands as one of the highest in the nation. This, however, is not a simple problem with a simple solution. Instead, it's a complex issue rooted in a web of interconnected factors. One of the prominent factors is gang violence. The city streets are often a battlefield for rival gangs, resulting in a surge of violent crimes. These gangs often operate within certain territories, creating a hostile environment for the residents trapped within these boundaries. This high level of violence is not just a symptom of gang rivalry, but also an indicator of deeper societal issues. Drug addiction also plays a significant role in Baltimore's crime rate. The city struggles with a rampant opioid crisis, with many residents trapped in the vicious cycle of addiction. This often leads to an increase in crimes, as individuals resort to unlawful means to support their addiction. It's a heartbreaking reality that underscores the urgent need for effective drug treatment programs and policies. Lastly, the lack of opportunities in Baltimore cannot be overlooked. Many residents face limited educational and economic opportunities, leading to a sense of hopelessness and desperation. This lack of opportunity often pushes individuals towards criminal activities as a means of survival. It's a grim reality that calls for a concerted effort towards improving access to quality education and creating jobs. Each of these factors, gang violence, drug addiction, and lack of opportunity, are not isolated issues. They are interconnected, each one exacerbating the others, creating a cycle that's difficult to break. It's a daunting task, but one that must be tackled head-on if we hope to see a change. Baltimore's high crime rate is a clear indicator of the urgent need for change. After exploring the crime rates of these three cities, it's clear that the problems run deep. We've journeyed through Detroit, St. Louis, and Baltimore, uncovering unsettling realities about crime in America. In each city, the narrative of danger is sustained by a unique set of circumstances, yet they all share common threads. In Detroit, the once thriving automotive capital of the world, economic decline has left a stark imprint. The city's high crime rate is a distressing symptom of joblessness, poverty, and a lack of adequate social services. The city's struggle is a stark reminder that economic stability is a crucial cornerstone of safety. Turning our gaze to St. Louis, we find a city grappling with a similar tale of economic distress, but with an added layer of complexity. Here, segregation and systemic inequalities have created pockets of concentrated poverty, providing fertile ground for crime to flourish. The city's experience underlines the significant role that social inequality plays in the story of crime. In Baltimore, a city renowned for its rich history and vibrant culture, the high crime rate is a stark contrast to its charm. The city's struggle with drug addiction and a lack of opportunities for its youth are major contributors to its high crime rate. Baltimore's story underscores the need for effective drug policies and youth engagement strategies. Despite the unique challenges each city faces, there are commonalities. Economic instability, social inequality, drug addiction, and a lack of opportunities for young people are recurring themes. They serve as stark reminders that the fight against crime is not merely a battle to be won by law enforcement alone. Addressing crime involves more than law enforcement. It requires tackling the root causes and investing in our communities. By understanding the complexities of these issues, we can begin to form strategies that address the heart of the problem, creating safer, more prosperous cities for all.